So I am making mommy and me bathing suits for our trip to Cancun. Super excited. There's not a lot of mommy and me bathing suit DIYs on YouTube. I think I've only seen one. I searched it. I'm doing 2 pieces, not a 1 piece. To make my bandeau, I'm taking one of my maternity bras and I folded it in half, and this is how we're gonna draw our pattern. If you want, you can trace the whole entire bra on a piece of paper, but I folded my paper here, so when I trace half of it and I cut it out, you're gonna get the full length. And so this is the front part. It's easier if you use pins, but because the bra is so thick, I decided not to use pins.
Can you take out the inside?
No, the padding is built in. You just want to trace your bra. And I'm just gonna make a line here at the bottom and here at the top, so I know that that's where my bra is supposed to be. And I'm going past the bra, okay? Because we're using 2 different materials. So I'm gonna go past here. And then also with this, you're gonna do a seam allowance. For baby, I'm just going to take one of her swimsuits and I'm gonna trace it as well. I'm not gonna use the Sharpie because I don't want to ruin it, so I have to trace it in pencil first. So for the bottom, you need to cut a front and a back out. You'll see when you fold it that the lines actually kind of taper and go more like this. And so you wouldn't have that part, but because you need the full half, you're just going to ignore that. And you can kind of adjust it as you sew. The last thing I'm going to use this paper for is to create the straps for the tie for the bikinis. Okay, so for the straps, what we're doing is doing it a tie at the back, and then we're also going to add a halter strap. You want to measure, so this is 11.4 centimeters, okay, and so based on that, we know that our strap has to also be 11.4 centimeters. And your strap doesn't have to be cut on the fold because you actually need 2 pieces. So you want to cut it over here where you have 2 pieces of paper. You're kind of going to freestyle this. You can make it a perfect rectangle if you want, but I kind of want mine to be tapered. We did got my whole entire back measurement. My mom did it in inches though. One strap we're going to do at... No, not half. I'm going to do one strap at 20 inches, okay? And that's going to give me a lot of play room. My seam allowance is going to be messed up on this side because I was looking at the wrong line. That's why you're supposed to work with pencil. Don't worry about my seam allowance, okay? Worry about your own damn seam allowance. I got this covered. And so obviously your next step is going to be to cut out. Oh, I never traced the back of her panty, but I'll do it.
Gonna wear
a thong. But I have no space for it on this, so I'm gonna have to do it after. So I'm just gonna cut out what I can on camera, and once the camera shuts off, then I will just move on and trace the rest of my pattern, and then we will get into cutting the pattern on the actual fabric.
I was always wondering what we can use this for. Now
What?
try.
What are you doing?
Let's see what happens.
Your clamps?
Yes. Like I'm supposed to. Some of them need sand, and this is just the consistency I think I need. So I'm gonna change it. This is charcoal and whatever else they put in it. You know, don't buy one plant. Women don't mind if it did. I'll see
Oh,
what
Don't bother with mine. So just a tidbit here, because my tracing paper is at my mom's house, so I decided I would just use what I have at home, which is what DIYs are all about. And I'm using wrapping paper from Christmas that I folded on the back side, so it's perfect.
Smart girl. So don't throw them out.
My dryer's running right now, so that's what that noise is in the background. As you see, I have now folded my fabric, but I didn't fold my fabric in half, because if I folded it in half, then we wouldn't be able to fit the entire 2 bathing suits on here. So the center of the fold is here, or the edge of the fold is right here where you see this piece. I'm gonna zoom so you can see what I'm talking about. So when you're cutting your pattern, you want it to be on the inside of the fabric. So as you see, there's no pattern in here versus right here where we have texture. And so I folded it this way, and we've pinned the pattern pieces onto the fabric directly, and we've laid them edge to edge. So this is what I mean by edge to edge. The edge of the front of my bathing suit is here where the fold is. So you're basically putting it on the fold. And then once all of your pieces are on there, you can proceed to cut. I don't have a shirt on, I'm just wearing my maternity bra, so if you see my belly, it is what it is. And because you've added your seam allowance, you can cut right up against your pattern. You don't have to like add extra stuff or you'll mess the pattern up, if you didn't mess it up already. And this is swimsuit fabric, so it is a 4-way stretch, and I don't have to worry about cutting it on the bias or anything like that. You can cut it any which way on the fabric and it's going to stretch the same. And now this is the front of the mommy panties, or the mommy bikini bottom. Okay, so the last 4 pieces we have to cut out are baby backs, the back of baby's bikini bottom, the front of baby's bikini top, the straps for, or the tie for the back of my bikini, and then the front of baby's bikini bottom. And last but not least, I'm going to be cutting the front of Salem's bikini bottom. Every time I say bikini bottom, I think of SpongeBob. But anyway, as you can see, this pattern is actually laid out, and I'm not putting it on the fold because I don't need to put it on the fold. It's just a waste of fabric if I do it that way. So what I've done is I've laid it out flat, and we're just going to cut around the entire thing. This is on one side of the fabric. There's no fold going on here. So with our leftover fabric, this is what I'll be using to make our halter straps, and we don't need a lot of it. We have baby panty front, baby panty back. We have baby bikini top front. We have the baby bikini tops back. Our mommy panty back. We have our mommy panty front. We have our mommy top front, which probably took up the most fabric because I got some kahunas on me, girl. I got some jugs, baby. And the tie for the, ouch, and the tie for the back of my bikini top. So we have the pattern cut out, and we're ready to actually start manufacturing. Construction day for my swimsuits. And I'm just gonna zoom in here. It's a screen, so it's giving you flickers. But we are working with the Janome Skyline S7. And because we're working with a stretchy fabric, we have it on a special setting so that the stitch will stretch with the fabric. This is the closest color we had to the yellow of the swimsuit. So this is what we're using. We've already did a little test run to make sure it's going to work properly. And, Mom, what was the brand of thread again? Coats. Eloflex, like elastic.
So you've got the bathing suit front, and this is the lining. So all you're gonna do is secure it.
Okay guys, we are back, day 3 on these damn swimsuits. I was not expecting it to be so damn complicated. My head. But it's okay. We have gone back to our original polyester thread. We're using Gutermann now. It's what is it, all-purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah, all-purpose thread. And it's super duper strong. The other thread was not cooperating with the machine.
See? And it didn't break. Look at this.
Perfect.
And that's what we've been doing all along.
I don't know why we go listen to the gal. Who knows what machine she has? She probably has a very old machine.
Sometimes they put such inferior product on the market, it irritates the crap out of me.
Okay, so
Give me some elastic.
do this.
Oh, do this?
The other one.
Okay. Listen, the deal wasn't for me to be sewing nothing. You.
I'll tip you. It's okay.
You think that's gonna work all the time? I'm going on vacation. Yeah, it will work.
Yeah. Yeah. You just behave yourself, Mom. So right now we're just adding the elastic into the armpit area, as well as underneath on the under the bust line. We've actually serged it on, but I presume most people don't have a serger, so just add the elastic. What you would do is fold your seam allowance up and leave it open on both sides, and then thread your elastic through it. Sorry, Salem. The sides. You're attaching the ties to it? Okay. This is my strap for my neck. My sweet, young, vivacious mother is going to is going to sew the strap to. So this is the strap here.
The tie back, yeah.
Right. Just gonna put your hand up, right there.
So how we left the ends open.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm gonna attach this side to the right side of the bodice. From the opening of the side tie back, I've attached the side of the bra. Trim away the excess and then fold this to finish off the seam. Fold this in. The seam allowance on this side goes in, and can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
And then you give a stitch right close along the edge to hold that in. So let me go ahead and do that.
If you're inexperienced here, you should be pinning.
Yes.
Before.
Absolutely. Or basting is even
better. Basting. Which is just a little stitch
to hold
it in place while you sew it, and then you pull the stitch out at the end. So baby bikini bottom.
So we're just gonna stitch the crotch and work our way from there. And I'm stitching the crotch first because he'll give me access to do the leg area better. So everybody knows right sides together, right? I'm not sure how you cut this. Shouldn't have such a hangover on either side. Right?
Yeah.
So that's, and then I'm gonna work around here.
Yeah. So you're gonna serge it? Okay. So we're gonna actually head over to the serger this time.
I'm not sure how you cut this, why I have
so
such a
much
hangover. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in and serge around here, so I'll just
even
eliminate
it out.
that. Yeah. Make sure if you're serging that the seam of the crotch folds to the back. I've marked the seam allowance, and so I'm just turning it in to finish off the edge. And I'm just gonna use a zigzag stitch to seal it, because then it starts to move really freely on its own. So that's the one leg completed. If you open it up, front and back.
And we used a zigzag stitch. We didn't use the stretch stitch, did we?
Yeah, no.
Just a regular zigzag stitch.
It's called overcasting.
Overcast?
Actually, yeah. It's a really nice finish.
Especially on a swimsuit. If you look at your swimsuits at home, it's probably stitched the same way.
Yeah. How much seam allowance did you give this? Half an inch?
Yeah, I think I gave everything half an inch. So that is the finished bikini bottom. It took 20 minutes. Super easy. Yeah. So we're gonna do the top now. So for baby bikini top, we're gonna do it a little differently. Can you put the pins in the pin cushion for me? So she's just modifying the straps because I cut them rectangular, but we want them to taper. So she's attaching Salem's side straps to the front of the bikini, and then she's just gonna do a straight stitch down, I think, or a zigzag stitch, I don't know which one. And then she's gonna serge around the entire garment.
The front and the back is attached.
Now we're headed over to the serger.
First of all, finish off the side seams with the serger. So there's a whole bathing suit top. Now I'm gonna go and just turn under the seam allowance and use that zigzag stitch to finish it off.
Maybe I'll even leave hers without a strap. I like it.
Yeah, well, that would depend when you put it on her, depending on how over here fits her. Like, just because she's a little, you know what I mean? It may not sit flat. So if it doesn't, then we have to figure it out. Me, I tell you, me, old bathing suit me away. Nothing so fancy. This little girl.
You're supposed to try the ones.
I know. Yeah, I'm still going to all that.
So cute. Looks like
blue Stormer, blue Rainer, whatever. Don't have nothing on my CLM.
Who?
What does
Blue Ivy?
Blue Ivy.
She's mixing up Blue Ivy and Stormy. I'm dead. Oh my goodness. So this is Salem's top. This is the front. So cute. And this is her bottoms. We're not gonna attach the strap to this just yet because we don't know where it's gonna fit on her, so we have to put it on her, but she's sleeping, so we gotta leave her alone. So this is going on to day 4 of this bathing suit DIY. So these are the finished products of the Mommy and Me swimsuits. Super duper cute. Salem's is so freaking cute on her, but I didn't want to put them on and like take pictures or anything for the video because obviously we're going to be wearing them in Mexico and I wanted to post pictures on the gram. Whew. So these are the swimsuits, and then in another video I'm going to show you guys how to make some easy sarongs to wrap around our waist or our chest, whatever we feel like that day. And I thought the blue really looked nice with the yellow, and everybody always says Salem looks like a cherub or a cherub, but I don't know how to fucking pronounce it. Cupid, okay? Everybody says Salem looks like that, so I thought this was perfect for us. And the yellow with the yellow just looks really dope. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. I love you all, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.